Company backpaid me for 50 hours instead of $50. I was owed $50 retro pay by my company. They basically kept blowing me off for months on it. Carrot on stick status. It really put a strain in our relationship that never went away. $50 is fiddlesticks. It was the principle of the thing. That we had an agreement. That I had done things I wasn't paid for. That fair was fair. One day, they came to me asking for my help and I told them I needed to be paid first. I guess that finally did it, because I got paid. However, instead of being paid $50, I was paid for 50 hours, amounting to something like $500 extra that I was paid. Incompetent jackoffs. This was about 6 weeks, 3 pay periods ago, and nobody has said anything to me, and I haven't said anything to anybody. I haven't spent it. I guess I'm wondering what the company can do if they discover their mistake and what my options might be. I'm certainly not in a rush to do any favors for these manipulative fucks. Thanks for your input. 50 hours, $500. $500? Damn. $50 fiddlesticks? You need to get a different job or a second job. Call it interest and never say a word. I know someone is about to chime in. That's not a good idea. There could be repercussions, and I know that. Which is why OP shouldn't spend it. OP should put every cent into a HYSA and collect the interest from it. It's not much, but the money will be working for OP and still be just as liquid as in any other bank account and can be transferred back to the company should they ever realize the mistake. Companies run internal financial audits. Sometimes it can take years. Once the error is caught, they will ask for that money back. If you refuse, they may sue in small claims to reclaim the money from you. If you are still an employee, they can't deduct it from your wages. My advice is to put the money into an account that accrues interest and let their error make you a little extra coin, and then you have the full amount you can return once they go asking for it back. NAL if you overpaid your employee. The statute of limitations depends on which state's laws apply. In New York State, the clock starts ticking as soon as you tell your employee there's a problem. You can collect overpayments up to 8 weeks prior to notification, and you have a maximum 6 years to do so. $500 is 50 hours? Man, you gotta get a new job. They are paying you starvation homeless wages anyway. Try to keep it, but also look for another job. Retail stores in small towns are paying $13 an hour. If you have any type of skills and experience, you should be able to land something for $15 an hour. Still homeless without roommates, but goddamn better than $10 an hour. I was making that when I was 17 years old the summer before senior year. 10 goddamn years ago in a very low-paying market. For your own sake. No, you didn't. Delete this post and all other places you've acknowledged this as an error. Best thing you can do is say nothing when errors occur in your favor. I was owed $50 retro pay by my company. Correction. 50 hours there. Problem solved. I'd just hold on to it for a month or two before spending it. I think the worst that could happen is that they demand to get $450 back. But after 2 months they're unlikely to discover this mistake. I'd suggest putting it into a money market account. That way it gains interest over time. If when they take it back, you'll at least get to keep your interest, that's what they would do. I once got into some office politics bullshit with a manager in which I was suspended without pay. For a week I fully expected to be fired. But they realized they needed me too much. They brought me back with a stern lecture. When I got my next paycheck, they forgot to deduct the week I was absent. I never said shit and continued to work there for a few more years. They'll notice during account reconciliation and contact you. Just put it aside in a different account and do not touch it for the next 10 years. If they come back to claim it within the legal time limit, just let them send you an invoice and you will pay it within 30 days. Stick it in a high-yield savings account. It's hovering around 5 right now. Blupeek Credit Union is giving the best right now. It seems 5.33 may not sound like much, but a couple of extra dollars before they take the money back is better than nothing. And even a couple of dollars saved here and there will set you up better in case of emergency. Edit also, you should have complained to the Department of Labor about this ages ago. You could have gotten the money ages ago and got the same again in damages. They probably won't figure it out. If they do, it will be during tax season in March-April next year. Is there location flair in this sub? It would be great if someone with a labor law question had country flair. I'm in Canada and could shed some light on a situation like this. But it's specific to the provincial labor law. Like Steve Miller said, go on, take the money and run. They can take that money back. You would be required to return it. If a company overpays, they are entitled to claw it back. There's no finders keepers rule here. So, you don't have to say anything. But I would hold on to that money. Usually, in situations like this, the smart move is to take the extra money and put it into an interest-bearing account. They can claw back the original mistake, but you'd have earned interest off of it in the meantime. That said, the interest on $500 isn't really going to add up to much. But be prepared to pay it back. You are legally required to do so if they request it. Because of you taking such a hard stance about it, they probably believed it was 50 hours and not $50. Keep that shit. Sooner or later an audit may uncover this, but for now this is a gift. Don't say anything, but keep it in the bank. Let the interest grow. If they ask for it back, you can give it back. If you switched jobs, then you're in the clear. Also, kudos for sticking to your principles. They're probably going to make you pay it back pre-tax. So the gross amount of the mistaken payment, be aware and save up. There's a Ferengi rule of acquisition for this: once you have their money, never give it back. Throw that in a HYSA. That way its liquid will get some interest, and if they do try to get it back, you'll have made a bit extra, maybe even earned your original $50. They withheld money they owed you for months. $500 as interest. Fuck 'em. Find a new job since they're incompetent. If $500 is 50 hours, they're only paying you around $10 an hour. You can find better. Hold on to it. If they catch it, your next check will be shorted. I personally would not notify them because you had to dig in your heels to get it. If it was one more decimal place over, I would say something. But less than $500? Keep it and keep quiet. Don't spend it. Wait till they contact you and then document you returned it. If they can blow you off for months, you can also wait until they figure it out. I was once paid extra by my employer because they failed to pay me within a certain time frame and just auto-paid some penalty. I don't remember the specifics except that I randomly had a semi-large check. Depends where you are, but some areas have time limits for how long they have to ask for it back. I think it's 3 months in Cali, but you would have to check your local laws. Put it in an investment account and continue to say nothing. If they ask for it back, you have to give it back, but just say you didn't notice the incorrect amount. Perhaps they were paying you for the extra help they needed? FM. Keep it, just don't spend it. Put it in savings. Don't touch it for at least a year. Doubly so if you don't have the ability to readily pay it back if they demand it. Definitely do not treat it as a windfall that you should blow on fun stuff, as they may dock your pay to recoup the money if they realize the mistake.